Let's talk about some ways in which you can make your Google searches more effective. And we'll just type in a sample Google search here. So let's just look for Rasputin. And you can see that it brings up over 8 million entries. One thing you can do right away is you could actually do minus Putin, okay, just to get rid of Vladimir Putin. And that already brings it down to 500,000. So this is called a negative search term. If you just put a hyphen or a kind of a line in front of a term, then it tries to exclude those results. One thing you can note as well is that we have all these tabs. So if we want to look for images or videos or news, then we can do that. I'm not sure how much news there would be for Rasputin, and I'm not sure how useful maps are, but we definitely have a lot of options here. You can also go to, actually let's click on Tools first, and that allows you to refine your search somewhat as well. And I would suggest that you bring this toolbar up whenever you need to do a more refined search. If you go to Settings, you can search in specific languages. You can also go to Advanced Search, and I would suggest you have a look here. And then you can add all sorts of different things to really make your search as specific as possible. Some of these things also have shortcuts, however, and we're going to talk about some of the shortcuts that are available. Okay, let's go back here. Let's say that you know a specific phrase or quotation that you'd like to find. You can put quotation marks around it to really make sure that you bring up exactly what you're looking for. So let's say you want to find the quote, "Your child will not die." You can see I've searched for this before to prepare for this video. Now you can see that there's only 7 results, right? Because it's a very specific search. And if you were to take the quotation marks off, now it becomes much more generic. It's not looking for those words in exactly that order. And suddenly we're almost up to 1 million again. Note as well that you can use asterisks if you remember a phrase, but you can't remember every last word. So let's just put a couple asterisks here. Okay, and then we'll do the search again. 4 results, not quite as many, and maybe they're not quite the same, but we can see that the quote is still here, and this is great for if you, for instance, remember part of a song lyric or a famous line, and you need to find it again, but you can't remember everything. All right, let's get rid of all of these details here. Let's now start searching for Rasputin, but we're going to search more specifically in parts of the website. So we're going to start by searching just in the title of websites. And we add this little tag in title, followed by colon, and then our search term. So this limits it then to just 250,000, and that's pretty good, right? Now we're really starting to get more specific. We can limit it even further if we type in URL. So that would be in the link at the top here. Let's try that. And that's a little bit narrower again. Let's see here. We can make it broader by typing in text, and this will look in the text of the website. Okay, and you can see that we get quite a few more results there. So that's one way to do it. Another thing we can do is we can look for particular file types. So let's type in file type and then a colon, and then we can designate the file type that we're looking for. So let's say we want to look for a PowerPoint. We write PPT, and let's see here. Now we can see all sorts of PowerPoints coming up. And that's really cool because if you have to do a PowerPoint, I would suggest you don't copy these PowerPoints, but you can at least look at them for inspiration and see what kind of information they are providing. The same kind of thing goes for PDF. So you can write PDF. You can write a doc or look for a doc file. So this would be a Word file. You can even look for an XLS file, which would be Excel, like a spreadsheet. But as you can see, this has very little to do with Rasputin. But in other cases, it may be quite useful. All right, the next thing you can do is you can look for old forms of a website. Now I'm going to give you an example here. So if you, let's say, find this website, so this is the new leader of the Conservative Party of Canada at this moment, and you can see that his policy website, after he got elected, has changed. It just says thank you. But if you want to find the previous version of this, you can actually take this link, and sometimes if it has been changed just in the last little while, you can type in cache and then a colon, and then the website. And then if it has changed recently, then you can actually find what it looked like before. Now in this case, that doesn't work because the website has been changed a little while in the past. So what we can do then as a backup option is we can go to the web archive. So just Google for web archive, go there, and now we can use their search function once this loads. All right, there we go. So we're going to enter the URL. And now we can see that there have been some changes, right? There's been a bunch of changes here. And we'll just go back to May the 25th. So that's a month or two ago, just under a month. And let's see what we can find here. Okay, so there is our website, and this is what it looked like before. Wait a second, he had all kinds of policies. Where did they go? It's convenient that they're gone. Okay, so that allows you then to look for cached websites and for older previous versions of what particular websites look like. Another thing you can do in Google is you can look for websites that are similar to one that you're interested in. So that, let's say that you really love the Khan Academy. Okay, so you really love the Khan Academy. They have some great resources. And you want to see if there's anything similar. Well, we can type in related before. And we're going to search for this now. And lo and behold, look at all these interesting websites that teach you different things, whether it's Coursera or math.com. And so that gives us a wealth of different options in terms of similar sites to the Khan Academy. Okay, let's look at something else we can do. Close a couple tabs here. Let's say that you find this website, this kind of encyclopedia about birds, and you just love this parakeet and you want to find out some more information about it. One thing you can do is you can copy the link, and then you can go to a new tab and just write in link, okay, and a colon, and then we're going to put our link here, and now we can see where this particular page has been linked. So other pages may be linking to it, and we may want to check out what these pages have to say. Let's just go here, for instance. So, oops, that's the same, that's a different one. Let's try a different one here. Let's do this one. This one is definitely quite different. All right, so here we can see that there are links, and now we can see that this links to our previous page. And we have all sorts of new information, or sometimes similar information, that might be of use. So that's a great way to see how particular websites are linked to each other. And of course, if you own your own website, then this is perfect. This is a great way to see where other people are using your information or sharing what you have to offer. Another great thing you can do in Google is you can look for definitions. So you can type in define. Let's say we want to define the word define. Let's do that. There we go. There's a definition. There are other ways to do this as well. You can just type in definition and then the word or something like that. But this is a great way to use Google as your dictionary. All right, another thing that you can do is you can search particular sites. So let's say that I want to search the website, The Nature of Writing, which is of course my website, natureofwriting.com. And I really want to search it for pronouns, anything that has to do with pronouns. Okay, so let's search for that. Now you can see that all the pages that show up are from the same website. And you can even add a specific page if you want to search within that. Okay, so you could add something at the end here to make this page really specific and search inside of it. Another thing you can do though is you can search in a particular page by just pressing Control F. And that'll bring up a search box, and then you can find, parakeet, for instance. And you can find every last, use of the word parakeet. There are quite a few of these. Okay, let's do something else now. Let's see if we can find some images and play around with those. Let's type in Theresa May. There we go, Theresa May. And she's the current Prime Minister of England. So let's go to images. If you click on one of her images, so right click on one of her images, let's just pick this one. It's kind of an unusual one. you can see where this image has all been used. So we're going to press on Search Google for Image. And this will allow us to see actually if this image has been replicated a number of times, and then how often, and then also on what kinds of websites, which is really kind of an interesting exercise to do. Another cool thing we can do is we can add the @ sign if we want to search just in social media. So let's say we're interested in Donald Trump, then we can search for that, and we can even add a hashtag if we want. So we will just add the hashtag before, and you can see that there are these interesting suggestions. And if you look for Trump regrets, for instance, then you can see all these people who have regretted voting for Trump, apparently. So those are a couple ways to search social media. Use the @ sign and also use the hashtag, and that will allow you to find particular results. One thing we haven't mentioned yet is the word or. If you use or capitalized, make sure that you capitalize both letters, then you can look for alternatives. So let's say that you don't care if you're looking for the ultra marathon or the Ironman, right? Then you can search for particular results. And we'll just add something here, painkillers. Now we can see that both of these results are going to show up. Last thing to mention is that you can have also lots of fun with Google. You can put in these little search terms that are kind of Easter eggs, that are little jokes, and I'll just finish with one. If you type in "do a barrel roll," there we go. Look what happens to our screen. There we go. And there are lots of other ones like this, so I would suggest you have a look at them online, but I won't bore you with all of them. So that's it for maximizing your Google results and making sure that your searches are effective, and hopefully you found this useful.